What is up, everybody? Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I am coming at you from the Petro in Johnstown, Colorado. Just knocked out that 500-mile deadhead from Corinne, Utah to the Greeley, Colorado area. You know, I spoke a while back about deadheading, when it makes sense, when it doesn't make sense, all that kind of stuff. Had it not been my direct fleet manager, I might have questioned it, possibly. But, you know, I'm sitting out in Utah. I know there's a storm that's going to be coming through pretty soon. So my number one agenda was to get across I-80 as quick as possible. So as soon as he said that's what he wanted to do, good to go. Dropped off my load at the Walmart. Possibly thinking about taking a nap up at that Maverick location. But I was like, you know what? If I take a nap, I don't want to be driving this, you know, too far into the daytime in Wyoming, because wind is a little bit more of a factor during the daytime. So I was like, you know what, let me just leave. So I went in the fuel island, boom, got my coffee. They got some good coffee, obviously. Then slid my tandems back to the 12th hole to give me a little bit more stability, because I knew the roads were going to be pretty slick out there. And got on my way. So I'm driving, and started getting a little slick out there, but you really couldn't tell. You know, sometimes you look at the road and you're like, is the road dry and just kind of got that gray look to it, or is it like a thin layer of ice? So every now and then a truck would pass by and I'd look at their tires be wet. So I'm like, okay, I need to pay attention to this. But then the closer I got to Rollins, the more them ice patches were like straight, slick black. And they'd be for about 50, 60 feet or so. And I started noticing that there weren't any trucks passing me by. It was like I was like the only one on the road almost. And I was like, maybe that's trying to tell me something. But I was on the phone with Willie. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And we're talking about it. And, you know, I'm empty, obviously. And he's like, man, you need to pull over. So at that point, once he said that, I had to pull over. Because then if I would have got into some shit, then he could have always said, I told you to pull over. So I pulled over in this, the Rollins TA. Took about a 3-hour nap. Got up at sunlight, and roads were in a little bit better condition. Obviously, there was a little bit more friction on the road, which is what I think was missing. I mean, the temperatures were low, but there was just like nobody traveling on those roads, so wasn't getting any of that friction. So as soon as I woke up in the morning, all them solar powered truckers got out there on the road and started heating them up for me, so I was good to go. But I told, oh, you know what? And I'm about to get to these comments, but my sleep schedule's been a little off. So as soon as I get a chance, I'm going to get to them comments. But told my fleet, or told Weekend Dispatch, that I was within 15 miles of Greeley, Colorado, and make me available at, oh shit, I got to check and see what time I told him. I might have gave him the wrong time. 2100 tonight. And I need to get out of Colorado soon too, because there's going to be a weather system coming through here. Apparently the truck that I ordered is at the Denver yard, so shouldn't be too much longer before I head out there to get things set up with that, and to get my driver comfortably in place. But, you know, that trip across Wyoming, that was like the minimum level of road conditions that I will do. If any more than that, or any more wind than that, I mean, it's almost a suicide mission going across 80 empty in the winter. I just happened to get a little bit lucky. That's not something that I would suggest doing unless you absolutely knew what the road conditions were, and I knew they were going to be a little bit slick. But there's a lot of people get on these apps as far as, weather apps, stuff like that. I got all that, but one thing that I found that is even more accurate is like Wyoming. They have like their own little Facebook page, not like a DOT Facebook page, but like somebody that's like, I forgot what it's called, Wyoming Traffic and Weather Conditions or something like that. And you have real residents that are out there kind of saying what the road conditions are like. So when I came out here, instead of taking I-80 all the way to 25 and down 25, I cut across 287. And one of the reasons I did that was somebody said, hey, I just left Laramie and drove to Fort Collins, roads are dry, all that kind of stuff. So figured I'd cut a little bit of the mileage off that. It takes about the same amount of time, but it's a little bit more scenic, less truck traffic. And the last time I came through Cheyenne to Laramie, there was like a lot of ice out there, stuff like that. So I figured I'd just try to avoid that altogether. I think Myra has a load coming out here tomorrow at this leveling us about 4 exits down. So hopefully she gets out of Colorado soon as well. And I'm just showing off right now. See, I just got my hands up here, so any of you guys that are normally cracking on my ashy knuckles can be like, oh man. So that's about it. Just gonna chill out. Wait to get a pre-plan and make sure I gave them the right time that I was going to be available. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. As always, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.